Their VAT to turnover ratio is supposed to be between 1% and 3%. But what we see now is even below 0%, which means a serious underreporting of outputs by retailers. Now, Taxcore will definitely be a game changer because this solution will automatically report the transactions to us as and when they occur. Instead, the technology should be the one that's doing all the tax compliance for them. Just want them to worry about growing their businesses.
Most of the tax administration are striving to get to that point, but you have all the prerequisites.
The digital solutions will introduce compliance by default. You comply without lifting a finger.
Hello, Mr. Brightwell. Welcome to Serbia and welcome to Data Tech International.
Thank you and good morning, Goran. Thank you for welcoming me here at DTI in Serbia.
Let's start by asking you the first question about your role at Eswatini Revenue Service and what has led to the decision to introduce Taxcore in Eswatini?
I am Commissioner General at the Eswatini Revenue Service. We are responsible for tax and customs administration in the country. And the major thrust or reason for going for this solution is to strengthen our domestic revenue mobilization efforts.
So what were the challenges Eswatini Revenue Services faced before making decision to move forward with the monitoring solution? What kind of challenges in regard to the tax compliance, taxpayer reporting, and the revenue collection in general? What was the major issues?
Okay, we had a whole range of issues. One of them was underreporting of sales. And then the other was no reporting at all, what we sometimes call the informal economy. So we then decided that we must go for solutions that will reduce the risk of underreporting, also make it very easy for taxpayers that may be in the informal economy, make it very easy for them to comply. We understand that part of the reasons for non-compliance, for some, especially the smaller businesses, the reasons are that the cost of compliance is high. So we see this solution as one of the enablers of reducing cost of compliance.
Understood. And I mean, you have in your term as a CG and even before, because you serve Eswatini Revenue for a while, you have introduced many different electronic solutions to assist taxpayers or aiding taxpayers in voluntary compliance. And has that been a success so far? In your opinion, did you manage to get taxpayers on board with the new solutions?
Yes, indeed. At the heart of our digitalization and transformation program is the desire to make it easy, the desire to improve service. So we have introduced a wide range of digital solutions to make compliance easier. We have seen an improvement in our voluntary compliance statistics. In 2022, we were about 60 in voluntary compliance. We measure voluntary compliance by looking at on-time filing and payment. The last financial year, we were at 72. So that's an improvement. It is showing us that the digital solutions are actually improving compliance. Also, in terms of service, we use the Net Promoter Score framework to assess the quality of our service, the extent at which our taxpayers appreciate our service. We have progressed. In 2022, we were at 6%. Then every year we are growing. The last financial year, we're at 75%. That means that 75% of those taxpayers that come to the tax office that we have interactions with would recommend us as a good service provider. So the technology solutions are actually having an impact on the ground. Our tax to GDP ratio also has improved. We are currently at 16.5%, coming from about 15.7 a few years back. So we see the improvement, the impact of the digital solutions.
And I saw when I had an opportunity to visit you in Eswatini, you are very often addressing, and the minister addressing to the public in regard to the new things that are coming up and trying to actually doing really a lot of good effort to ease the bureaucracy. And seems that the acceptance is there. Taxpayers are responsive, as you mentioned. They're responsive. They like this. So that's definitely the way forward. So we are early in the implementation of the Taxcore, but how do you see partnership developing so far? Is Taxcore going to be a game changer for taxpayers, like more than the other systems, or how do you see this transformation going on?
Taxcore will definitely be a game changer. Let me just relay or share our VAT roadmap. So VAT was introduced Eswatini in 2012. We had a one-line return where taxpayers would just report input, output, exports, imports, and that's all. Now, we noted that the figures were every period, they were going down. There was serious underreporting. Then in 2022, we then introduced the invoice schedules. So instead of just submitting the one-page VAT return, we then said to taxpayers, now you give us a schedule of all your inputs, a schedule of all your outputs, and the schedule of your imports and exports. Now, that we saw a significant improvement in our VAT performance, but now the retailers were concerned because for them, they process thousands of transactions per day. It was impossible for them. So we ended up agreeing that let's have a compromise where they will just submit for their outputs one line, the sales for the day. So there would be 30 transactions per month. But what we're also noticing there is that the figures are now starting to go down, which means a serious underreporting of outputs by retailers. Now, Taxcore will come in and say, the problem that you had of voluminous transactions has been solved because this solution will automatically report the transactions to us as and when they occur at the till or wherever. So it's going to be a game changer. Now, in terms of figures, the wholesale and retail sector itself is below the agreed threshold. Their VAT to turnover ratio is supposed to be between 1% and 3%. But what we see now is even below 0%. So it's a big sector that is on a net refund, simply because we are not getting all the outputs reported correctly. So what this solution will come and do, it will eliminate that problem. But even beyond that, even I talked about the informal sector earlier, that some of them are not complying because of the cost of having to hire accountants or the cost of having to hire tax consultants to do their returns. So with this solution, they will just invest upfront once in either the gadget if they don't have anything in place, or if they have a computer, a very simple interface. So they invest once, Then going forward, all they need to do is just concentrate on their business, while Taxcore will be pushing all the transactions to us.
Automatically record everything and actually store those records for the taxpayer, so the taxpayer can always access and see the records, even the historical records will be there. There's nothing to submit anymore.
So, the technology will be doing all the work.
So you're gonna go down to that one pager. That's great.
Actually, our vision, is for a future where the taxpayer doesn't have to worry about tax. Instead, the technology should be the one that's doing all the tax compliance for them. We just want them to worry about growing their businesses, to just focus on the business and let the technology do all the tax processes. And we see this solution as a very big step towards that vision.
Towards that step. That's a great vision. Actually, most of the tax administration are striving to get to that point, but you have all the prerequisites, and now with Taxcore as an enabler of reporting transactions, you'll get there sooner.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, ease of reporting is one significant milestone, but what kind of frauds do you see that the solution will prevent, that are happening, that there are taxpayers out there who are compliant, of course, and those who are being their unloyal competitors, not only not disclosing, but maybe even pretending to be honest taxpayers, but there are some frauds that you maybe come across and seen that this solution will stop it by having a real-time reporting in place. There will be no room for some modification. But what kind of, if you can just tell us in general, what kind of cases you've come across that actually have helped tax evasion?
The business-to-business type of transactions don't have a problem because they report. The biggest problem that we've seen is business-to-consumer. So with the business-to-consumer, the retailers would not report some of the sales that they collect from consumers because we don't have sight of those sales. So they would either, underreport doesn't reduce the actual sales or not report at all. So what we see as an advantage with the solution is that we will have sight of all business-to-business transactions and business-to-consumer transactions, because the solution captures all of them. And the consumer...
Follow the chain.
And the consumer also is enabled by the solution, to verify that their transaction has actually reached the revenue administration. So that's a very, very big advantage. We've seen instances where some of the retailers would, cook the invoices. And one example would be where a retailer imports an item and under-declare at the border, so that when they do the sale at their shop floor, they would also be able to under-declare the sales they collected. They would under-declare to us. This solution eliminates that. It eliminates all that. The money that's paid by the consumer will get to the tax office, and the consumer will be able to verify that indeed.
Do you think you will get consumers interested in verifying and actually checking compliance?
Well, definitely. A big portion of our citizens are responsible citizens. They want to contribute to the development of the country. They understand that the taxes that they pay are towards developing the country. So we see them stepping forward to ensure that this VAT that they pay ends up with the tax office.
Now that you've had a real life experience in these few days that you were in Serbia and also in neighboring Republika Srpska, and you had a chance to see how the fiscalization and the electronic invoicing actually works. What kind of message would you send to the taxpayers in Eswatini about what's coming next, and what would you like to see in Eswatini in a near future that will happen as far as the compliance and as far as the tax reporting is concerned? What would be the next? What would be the message that will get them prepared for what's coming?
Yeah, very important is that this solution will benefit the country. We will definitely see because the consumers make the payments, they pay their VAT. The problem is that VAT doesn't reach the tax office. So we are assuring them that this contribution that they make will reach the tax office. The taxes that they pay will reach the tax office. Two, the cost of compliance will be reduced. The cost to them to comply will be reduced because there's one small upfront investment that they need to make. After that, the technology continues to do the work on their behalf. So we see them coming forward, and that it's very easy. I've seen that it's very, very easy to get the system up and running, and it is maintenance. It's very, very low on maintenance, much like our mobile phones. Once you have a mobile phone, all you need to do is that it has a battery. You charge it so that it has a battery. Other than that, you don't have to worry. It continues to run.
And I see that in our conversations that we had, you are striving to assure that the businesses have a low cost as far as the compliance. You're very concerned about that investment. When you're saying upfront investment, you will also do something that will help them start off quickly, especially on the small businesses that may just already have a phone or a computer. That alone would be enough to reach the compliance level. Is that correct? That's what you're envisioning?
Certainly, because the solution has free add-ons that can be installed on existing either mobiles or on computers. That's it. Freeware, free software that can be installed. That is for those that already have equipment, and that's all.
Yes. Finally, what excites you the most about the future? As we are paving the way with the new digital tools, what excites you? And you did mention about taxpayers not having to worry about reporting. But what else is there that really excites you to get the Eswatini Revenue Service to that level of automation that you wish to achieve?
Well, our revenue to GDP is at 16.5%. We've seen developed countries reach much higher levels. Our voluntary compliance is at 72%. We've seen developed countries achieve much higher levels. So the solution will be able to improve the compliance levels, and improving compliance levels improves funding for the government. Improving funding for the government improves the services that the government can deliver for the people of Eswatini. So we see our development as a country accelerate. On the side of the taxpayers, the cost of compliance will go down because, as I said, we just want them to concentrate on running their businesses. Much like, pay as you earn. In pay as you earn, the taxpayer is the employee, but the compliance is by default. The taxpayer doesn't have to worry about every month going to the tax office to pay as you earn. The employer does that automatically on behalf of the employee. So even in this case, the digital solutions will introduce compliance by default. where you comply without lifting a finger, because the technology will do all the work. The country develops, poverty is reduced, jobs are increased, everyone is happy after that.
Great. Thank you very much for your time and being here with us today. And we are at the early stages of our implementation, but we are making a way forward. As far as DTI is concerned, we are very happy to have you as a client. And I hope that the feeling will be mutual, and that our partnership will continue.